So why are we here?
Learn how
Why
to
are we
sell.
here?
To get what we really want.
What is that you really want?
I wrote it down. You want me to read it?
Okay, perfect. We'll wait for that. But
Which
before
one?
that,
You said goals, but בחיים.
personal and business, yes.
Which one?
Let's start with business.
Business. Okay. I want to make $100,000 a year at
Okay.
least.
Okay.
That's my,
Beautiful.
and I think I can.
Yes, you can.
For work, I saw a business. I said I also want to learn how to sell ADUs and room additions.
Okay.
So I don't choke when I go to a lead like that.
Okay.
I want to be able to be confident and sell whatever it is, no matter what it is. For
Wonderful.
And I want to learn how to close more and to close more. I want to close more and I want to learn how to close more. So
Beautiful.
I need to-
So let me ask you all a question. Do you want to make $10,000 or more every month?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
It would help.
Huh?
It would help.
Yeah? So that's why we're here. To make over $10,000 for each one of you every month. Okay? But, and it's a big but, in order to make $10,000, obviously, you have to do a few things. You have to be serious, you have to be on time, you have to learn techniques, you have to know what you are doing. Because in the end of the day, this is a home improvement company. And that means people are calling in and they're inviting us to give them estimates. But, and that's a big but, if we will go around just to give estimates, then we're not going to make money. We're going to spend money on fuel, we're going to spend our time, we're going to do a lot of things, but money we're not going to make. Okay? Now, you have to understand something. Statistics shows and research shows, okay, that someone, a homeowner that called a construction company and had a construction company in his house, in the next 4 months will do the job. Okay? So it's either you will sell or the different company will sell it, but somebody will do the job for him in the next 4 months. So what we want to learn here today and in the next future, okay, is how to close more deals, okay? How to do a presentation, okay? Now, I did something in the beginning, okay? That this is basically supposed to be the beginning of every presentation in order to get the attention of the people. What did I ask in the beginning?
What do you
Why are
want?
we here?
Why we're here. If there is no why, okay, then nobody will take any action. There's no why, okay? So the same reason that you have a why you here, okay, you need to know the why for the homeowner, why they want to do the job that they want to do, okay? Because let's say that we go to a little kitchen, okay? Two different people, different reason why they want to do the kitchen. For example, one guy bought the house 10 years ago, okay? And he saved money, and it's about time to remodel the house. On the other hand, somebody else, you go and he just bought the house, okay? But it's a rental property. Would they do the same kitchen?
Probably not.
No.
No. So if we don't know why somebody wants to do what they do, guess what? We're not going to be able to sell them. Because we're going to try to propose something that might not fit their needs. Okay? And if we don't find what the needs is, okay, then we cannot sell anything. Even for $3,000, you will not sell a bathroom. Although it costs you $10,000 or $12,000 to do it, you will not be able to sell it even for $3,000. Okay? Why? Because you don't know the need. But once you understand the concept of how to run the meeting and what is the sequence of order that you have to run the meeting, okay, then it will be much easier. Okay? So let's start with the 5-step sell process. Before we go to everything else, just for you to understand what mean sales. Okay? So the 5-step sell process, and I want you to write it down. Everybody has a notebook, so I want you to write it down. So step number 1 for selling is what we call rapport. Have you ever heard the word rapport? Yeah? What is rapport, Adam?
It's the feeling, like it's like the trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's the like once you gain that like level of like equal, and you guys have the same like
Mm-hmm.
page, that type of thing.
More or less. Anything...
הוא לא צריך נוטבוק. הוא לא צריך.
כך. Anybody else heard the word rapport? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Rapport, I want you to understand what it is. Rapport is a naturally occurred state, okay? Naturally occurred state when people like each other, okay? So, for example, if you go...
סורי. זהו, זה לא מתקרב
אוקיי.
יותר אליכם. די!
So if you pay attention, if you go to a party, okay, and you don't know a lot of people in the party, okay, you come with a friend or by yourself, what most people will do when they come to a party when they don't know people?
Scan the room.
Scan the room. They stand usually in the bar, take a drink or something, you know, so they will have something to occupy themselves, and then they start to scan the room. And when they scan the room, then they go to talk to certain group of people or specific person. Why we go to this group of people or to this person and not to others?
They
Why?
make us feel something like just
They
from
call your
looking at
attention.
them.
Exactly. What's that?
They caught your attention.
They caught your attention by what? Because something is
Physical.
either in the physical body language, either in the clothing, either in the way they talk, either something you feel that is a little bit like you. That's why you feel more comfortable with these people or with this group. Okay? Now, this is a naturally occurred state. And if you look at people, okay, even in your family, okay, even in your family, even when you go to a restaurant or to party, doesn't matter, and you will look and observe people, okay, you will see that people that have fun together, okay, and laughing, okay, and have good time and good communication, if you will look at their body language, you will see that their body language is more or less the same. They stand in the same gestures, they talk in the same tempo, everything matching, everything matching. But what happened if all of a sudden they start an argument? The body language changes. The body language changes completely. Okay? And when the body language changes, okay, there is a distance between the people, right? So this is a natural acute state. Now, the beautiful thing is, and everything that I'm going to teach you about selling and about persuasion belong to the unconscious mind, okay? The big benefit is that you're going to learn to do it consciously and to affect other people unconscious, okay? So that being said, rapport is made by two techniques, okay? Rapport is made by two techniques. Those techniques are called matching and mirroring. Now, what is matching, what is mirroring, and how do we use that, okay? So, Itzik, raise your right hand for a minute. And I raise my right hand. This is matching, okay? If you raise your right hand and I raise my left hand, this is mirroring, because you see like a mirror image, okay? That's matching and mirroring. Now, there's another thing that calls mimicking, that you copy somebody, okay? This is not rapport. Mimicking, you actually hurt other people's feeling.
Yeah.
So you don't gain trust by that. Now, what is the difference between mimicking and matching and mirroring? Remember, everything that we're going to learn, okay, is belong to the unconscious mind. That means we have to make things out of the other person awareness. Out of the other person awareness, okay? Now, if somebody will close his hand like that and I'm immediately going to close my hand, okay? Or he's open his hand and I immediately do that, or whatever he does, I immediately do the same, that's mimicking. That's not matching and mirroring. That's mimicking. So the rule of thumb to do matching and mirroring, okay, is number one, you must establish eye contact. You must establish eye contact, okay? Once you establish eye contact in the lead, it's very easy because you sit in front of the people, but basically it can be done also in different scenarios, which I will let you practice, okay? So first of all, you establish eye contact. Once you establish eye contact, you start to match and mirror every movement that they do. Every movement that they do, you match and mirror. So if somebody is closing his arms, okay, you wait 30 to 40 seconds and then you close your arms. If he changes his gesture, you wait 30 to 40 seconds and then you change your gesture again. The important thing is to maintain the same body language throughout the meetings, okay? Throughout the meeting. By the way, it's good also with girls, okay? So, for those who are interested. So, when you maintain the same body language throughout, okay, even if you have disagreement with the person, okay, you can still overcome the disagreement because you maintain the same body language. And that's very important. Okay, now before we continue with the 5-step cell process, I want to show you here something, okay? And this is the model of communication. So you will understand, what communication is, okay? So there's 3 elements in communication. What are the elements that we have in communication? We have the words that we're using, right? Tone.
Body language.
And body language, exactly. Those are the 3 elements that we have in communication. Now, if this gives us 100% of the communication, okay, I want to ask you something. Ron, how much do you think in percentage, okay, go to the words, to the tone, and to the body language?
Body language. 55. Tone was, is 30 something. I don't know. I'll be honest. 38. I don't know, and then the rest is words.
Well, the rest is 7. Somebody think differently?
Body language is like 75. Tone is like 10, 15.
Anybody think differently?
I think words would be less.
Yeah.
Less than 7?
Yeah.
Okay. How much?
3%, 4%.
Okay. What do you think, Itzik?
Probably more.
For the words?
Yeah.
Like
How
over
much?
10?
Not over 10. No, yeah, over 10. Like
Over 10?
15%.
15%.
And then switch. And then 60.
So let me tell you something. These are the accurate numbers. 7% is the word. Now, that doesn't mean that the word is not important. It means that it's super important. But it also means, listen carefully, 93% of our communication is non-verbal. It's non-verbal. It has nothing to do with what we say. It has to do, probably you heard it in the past, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? Why people say it. Because the body language and the tonation, okay, give the structure for the other person to understand the meaning of what I say. So I can give you an example, okay, to the extreme of the same sentence with different body language and different tonation, and you tell me if it gets the same response, okay? Or if it has the same meaning, okay? So let's do it, for example, okay? What's up, man? Where have you been? I haven't seen you for 2 years. Or, where have you been? I'm looking for you for 2 years. Is that the same?
No.
Totally not.
Different tone.
Different tone, different body language, the meaning is different. The meaning is different. So it's very important to understand that, because once we go to the lead and we want to persuade somebody to do something that we want, okay, we need to understand that 93% of the communication is non-verbal. So it's not for us to say the right thing, because if I will say the right thing, but my body language will be different, the message that he will get will be from the body language, not from the word I say. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that being said, we will learn later today what we can do matching and mirroring also, not only in the body language, but also in the tone, and also in the words. And also in the words. Now, the biggest challenge that we have in home improvement, compared to other types of sales, okay, is that if I'm selling phones, okay, then you come, you give me $500, I give you a phone, you give me the money, we have an exchange. But in home improvement, we don't have an exchange. The only exchange is that I promise you something, you sign on a contract, and you give me money. And in exchange to that, all you as the homeowner gets, okay, is that I have the right to put a lien on your property. That's all you get in exchange to giving me money. Now, put yourself in the position of the
Wait, what
homeowner.
is that? The lien?
Lien.
What is that?
You know,
Lien?
the three papers and the.
Lien, it means that if you don't pay me the money, I can force the sale of your house.
I don't understand.
When you had a
When-
folder.
When a contractor, we will go over the folder later, okay? But basically, if a contractor comes to do a job in someone's house and this someone does not pay the contractor has the right to sell the house.
Sell the house?
Yeah,
Okay.
to get his money. Not only the contractor, also the suppliers. So if I bought lumber from the lumber yard, okay, they took a PO. That means where they deliver the lumber, okay? And if I didn't pay them, I'm the contractor. I didn't pay them, they have the right to go after the homeowner for their money. Yeah. That's the reason why homeowners are so afraid from contractors, okay? And we have to understand that, because if we will go to a lead and we don't understand what is the mental situation of the homeowner and what feelings and what emotion he go through, we will never be able to sell him anything. Does that make sense? You have a little bit experience in the field, right? You have a little bit experience in the field, no? So,
I almost had to one time, but I didn't have to.
okay. So this is basically the first step of the sale, creating rapport, building trust. This is the first step. Any question about that? No. Perfect. So let's go to the second step. The second step in sales, okay? Most of the salespeople come and do a pitch for the product or service, okay? This is wrong. This is wrong. Why to make a pitch on my product or service is wrong?
Because you're just telling them the information. You're giving them the information.
General information that doesn't fit them, that doesn't stick to them, that doesn't mean anything to them. But if I want to sell somebody something, okay, I think it's a better idea if first of all I will know what he wants, why he wants it. So that's why the second step of the 5-step sale process is asking questions. Asking questions. And we will learn what type of question we need to ask in order to get valuable information that will help us to give better proposal in the end of the lead. Okay? But without asking the question and gaining the information, I will not be able to custom tailor my service or product to what you as the homeowner needs. And if I can't custom it to you, let me ask you something. Itzik, would you buy something that you don't like for $50?
If it's worth more, investment-wise, yes. But if it's not worth more, then no.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
You
We're not
invest-
talking about investments.
So no,
We're talking about buying something that you don't like for $50.
no.
Okay. So why would a homeowner buy something? It's not $50. A low ticket item is $5,000. An average sale is about $20,000. High sale is over $100,000. Why would somebody buy from us if they don't like what we offer? If they don't like what we do? If they don't like us? They will not. If they have any questions that we didn't answer, if they have any concern that we didn't answer, they will not buy. And that's the reason why we have to ask all the questions and really understand what the people really want and what they go through before we give the proposal. Because once we give a proposal, okay, once we give a proposal, it's a done deal. There's nowhere we can go from there. It's a done deal. And the problem with giving a proposal, that if I give you a proposal, then in your mind, that's all I can do for you, what I gave you in the proposal. In reality, it's not. I can do many things. But reality doesn't matter. What matters is what you as the homeowner think, what you as the homeowner feel. That's what matters. Okay? So we'll talk later about what type of question we need to ask. And then we get to the third step of the sales process, okay? Which is finding the need. why someone needs this product or service. Finding his need. And once I find his need, once I find the need, then I have to establish the need in his word. That means he needs to say it. That's what he wants, that's what he needs. Once he said that, then the fourth step is to link my product or services to his need.
Wait, but how do you find the need? Like, first it's finding what they want and then what they need?
It's not always the same. It's not always the
But, like,
same.
how do you- how
I
do
need
you
a car.
tell them?
I want a Lamborghini. It's not the same. This is what I need. This is what I want. Not always you can afford what you really want, but you still have needs. So if I will not find what is your need, I will try to sell you maybe what you know, what you want.
And then they can't afford that.
And then they
the
can
price
afford
is
it.
high.
Everybody wants it. Listen, if I want to buy a house, okay, there's a sequence of events that has to happen. I have to save money for down payment. Let's say I saved $100,000, then I have to go to the bank, okay, and get a pre-approval for the loan, for the mortgage. Let's say I got from the bank $500,000. Then yes, I want a house in Malibu, but I only have $600,000. A house in Malibu doesn't cost $600,000, so it doesn't matter what I want. I still need a house. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if we don't find what people really need, what they want is very important, because maybe we will be able to give them what they want, not only what they need. So it's very important to know both of the things. However, to continue with the lead and try to sell somebody and try to convince somebody to do something and spend money with us without knowing not what they need and not what they want, it's impossible. Now, let me show you something. Let me ask you a question. Eden, is this line short or long?
Compared to what?
Exactly, compared to what? We cannot even make decision as simple as how is it a short or long line if we have nothing to compare it to. So how can the homeowner make a decision to spend $20, $30, $40, $50,000 with us if he has nothing to compare it to? He will not be able. Okay? That's the reason why in the end of the lead, a lot of homeowners, what they tell us, I want to get 3 estimates. I want a more estimate. I want to think about it. Now, when somebody tells us no, that's a great thing. You know why? Why it's a great thing when somebody tells us no?
And then you could.
I have no clue.
Because there's no sell without at least 3 no's. Nobody will come to him and he will tell you immediately, yes, where do I sign and how much do I give you? Nobody.
I mean, that's,
Right?
Yeah.
So we have to get few no's, at least 3, in order to get to the yes. Now, when somebody tell me no, that means there is something he doesn't know, so he cannot make a decision. So he cannot make a decision, just like you can't make a decision. Now, is it a short line or long line?
Long.
Easy to make a decision. But before, you don't know. Not because you don't make a decision, because you don't have the ability to make a decision, because you don't have enough information. Same in the lead. If they don't have enough information about what's going to happen, they will never buy from us. Which will bring us to the 5th step of the sale process, which is closing.
Fourth, no?
No. 4th was link your service
Oh,
Product.
yeah.
and
Your
product
their
to their
service
need.
to them.
And then the 5th is closing. Now, I want you to understand that closing does not stand by itself. The closing starts when?
at the beginning.
Start.
Before we even got to the meeting, the closing starts. What before the meeting has to do with closing the meeting? I didn't even get to the meeting. What does it have to do with
They're
closing the
one.
meeting?
They called you for a reason.
Yeah, forget about them. What about me?
You want to sell.
Yeah, but what before the lead, before the meeting, has to do with closing the lead?
What do you mean?
The money?
No. What I mean is like that. What do I have to do before I even go to the meeting in order for me to be able to close the lead?
No,
Know
the
something
deal.
about the product.
That's for sure. That's my professionalism.
You need something
But
different.
let me, of course, let me ask you something. Do you like to be around people that have lower level of energy than yours or higher level of energy?
Higher.
Drink a Red Bull.
Higher, right?
Yeah, that's what I do.
So this is exactly the reason, okay, that before we get into the lead, we have to work on our state of mind, to be strong mentally, to be
Prepared.
full of energy, to be somebody that someone will want to be next to, someone that somebody will trust to spend $50,000 with. And that will not happen if I will come to the lead like that. It will just not happen.
Give me $50.
Okay? It will just not happen. So we have to make sure that our body language, the way we stand, the way we talk, the way we move, is strong and full of energy.
Shouldn't that be one though?
What you mean, man?
Number one?
No. That's part of the closing because
Like
the closing
before
is
the
not by itself. It starts before we even getting into the lead with our state of mind, with the level of energy that we come, with the level of beliefs that we come. For example, if we have prejudged that I don't like to sell to Indian guys, and I have a lead with an Indian guys, then guess what?
Your energy goes down. You're like, damn, bro.
You don't
I'm
go
not
to
gonna
sell the lead. You go to just
check off.
and tell the office that I was in the lead. But you know what? Some of my best jobs came from Indians people.
Really?
Yeah. I sold 2 bathrooms back to back to Indian couple.
Oh, yeah.
It started at 18,000 each
And then, like,
for labor only. It jumped to $72,000. So it's not about who they are, because even they still have needs and want a nicer house. So it all depends how we approach it. Okay? So let's review it. What is the 5-step sell process? Step number 1, rapport. How do we do rapport?
Matching and mirroring.
Matching and mirroring, body language, tonation, words. What is number 2?
Understanding.
Communication.
Asking questions. And then what is number 3?
Finding the homeowner's needs.
Finding the need. And then number 4,
Connecting it.
link the need to our service, and then closing. Now, I'll give you an example for closing, for a question for closing, okay? Question and sentences, when we close, has to be what we call double bind, okay? What is double bind? Double bind.
Double binds.
Yeah. What is a double bind? A double bind is that I give options and you have to choose from the option. So for example, if we already want to start the job and I will ask the homeowner, when is it better for you to start? What is the answer I will get? Most likely.
I don't know.
A month.
I don't know.
This.
I have to check. I have to talk to this and that.
I have more estimates coming in.
I will get a lot of excuses.
2 choices, no?
But if I will ask him, what is better for you, Monday or Tuesday? Then no matter what he chooses to start.
But they're not always going to tell you Monday. They're not going to always answer Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, so
I
if he
mean, I
say,
tried that.
absolutely. So, but then they will say, Monday and Tuesday I cannot, Thursday will be better.
But what if they say, like, in general, oh, like, I still don't know, like...
No. We're talking about that the job is already closed. We already
Oh,
sold
I
it.
think
We already
sold.
sold it.
Ah.
We already sold
Okay,
it.
so no, that's not going to happen.
Okay. Yeah,
Right.
That makes
Yeah,
sense, yeah.
Monday or Tuesday, yeah.
Monday or Tuesday. Okay?
I just asked them right
So-
now. They said Tuesday, actually. Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because when you give people option, I'll give you now a sentence that will make you understand it. Okay? On the mountain behind my mother's house, does it snow in the winter or not? What do you say, Itzik?
No.
On the mountain.
What do you say, Eden? Does it snow on the mountain behind my mom's house?
Where's the mountain?
Huh?
Where's the mountain?
In Israel? No? What do you say?
Probably not.
Probably not. Listen, everybody's answering yes, no,
Depends.
maybe. but nobody is doubting that there is a mountain behind my mother's house.
גר בחברון?
לא, היא גרה במרכז. There is no mountain. But nobody doubt that there is a mountain. Why? Because linguistically, we cannot process, okay? When I have a statement in the beginning of the sentence and then a question in the end of the sentence,
You focus on the question.
on the question,
You forget
not on the
about-
sentence, not on the sentence before. And that's how we start to instill information in people's minds. Covertly.
That's so smart.
Yeshua, is there a word for that?
Yes.
What is it?
What is the word?
Manipulation.
Technically. That's all.
The word for that it's called double bind.
That is the double.
Oh, that,
That- that's part of
Okay,
double
that-
bind.
this is-
Okay. Now
Starting
the
with-
technical
starting
words are
with-
not really important. What important is to know how to apply this knowledge, in the meeting. The technical words are not really important.
So it's starting with like a statement and ending with a question.
Right.
What's an example you would use in a lead? Like, if like Bonagid were doing a bathroom, what would be something like that you would ask that like to get information in?
So when we start next week, what do you prefer? Okay, that we will do the tile in red, the liner in red or in blue.
And then like they already think that we're starting next week.
Once they answer the question,
Then it's already-
linguistically they already accepted the presupposition before. Okay, that's called the presupposition, the sentence before.
But when do you sneak that in?
Whenever I want.
But is there like
Whenever
a
I
specific time where it's like perfect? Because like sometimes they'll like if it's too early and you say that, then they're gonna be like, well, like whoa, let's take a step before. Like
Beautiful, and that's very important also because we want to tackle all those rebuttals in the beginning of the lead. I don't want to wait until I'm 3 hours in the lead and I give all the information and the prices and how to do it and everything and my ideas of design and everything. And then after 2 or 3 hours, then they will tell me, no, I need to get more estimates. Then I have no power to leverage that anymore. I have no power to leverage it. Does that make sense? So that's why we're asking the question as the second phase of the lead and not before we give the proposal, but as the second phase of the lead, because we want to gain information. So then when I give you my proposal, it will fit for your need. It will be like a custom clothes for you, or custom car for you. Does that make sense? So I want to talk now about sensory acuity. Sensory acuity, איפה רון הלך?
bathroom.
So